fellas, thanks so much for being here.
I see, Mark.
Thank you.
You announced the news about the new album via Twitter, and I'll get this totally correct. I'm with you, August 30th. Wahoo, yip, yippee, wah, yes, yeah, 3 yes. Yes with no E, ye, S the letter, yes, yes, ye, yes, 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 love, love, love.
Well,
God, I misspelt that ye, huh?
I know,
Yeah.
and I was going to say, you usually like to use Old English whenever possible.
I do ye old, so it's ye. And I pride myself on honoring the English language. And
Right. Do you still have that excitement every time you put out a record? Obviously, you're really excited in this tweet. Do you still have that joy of our records coming out today? Holy
I do, man. I get so excited about that every time. I remember the very first time I ever heard myself on the radio. I had a band called Anthem in high school. They had a station called K-West, and they had a thing like where every Sunday night at like 2 o'clock in the morning they'd play unknown bands, and we all sat around the radio like waiting.
They're gonna play it
because we knew they were gonna play it. We're like, wait, shh. And then they go, and now here's a band called Anthem with a neat little ditty called Clocks, with the song Clocks. A little new wave song. And I was so thrilled, I couldn't believe it. Like, our song, it's coming to air, the radio, everyone's hearing it. Like, I still have that totally. It's exciting, man. I mean, isn't it for you?
Yeah, absolutely. But one of the things that you guys as a band has done for me is kill my joy of radio. And I'll tell you why. Because every time we go to radio with a single, you guys are number 1 and we're number 2. Always. Throughout the history of our band.
I'm so sorry.
And now,
No way, you guys
our
are way
band
more
goes away for
popular.
for real. Every time, if you look at the history of your band and our band, every time we go to radio, it's Red Hot Chili Peppers number 1, Blink number
It's
2.
like those Chili Peppers.
Your new single that's going to destroy my band is called The Adventures of Rain Dance Maggie.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what's this song about?
You know, you really have to, lyrically, you'd have to ask Anthony about that. You know, he puts together words in a funny way. It's just like this artistic flowing expression.
The mosaic.
It's a mosaic, if you will.
If you will. Now, I can tell you where the groove of the song comes from.
Where's the groove come from?
Groove comes from a little thing that Flea did at home. He decided to sit in his kitchen every morning and try to come up with some classic bass lines.
Yeah, I remember like having that concept and sitting in my kitchen with the bass and going, I need to come up with write some bass lines that are like, you know, this real memorable, simple, classic bass line.
Easy to do.
And I sat down, I was having breakfast with my kid and my now ex, and I'm playing like, that's a good one, yeah, because I started kind of feeling hypnotic. I'm doom, doom, dum, 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 dum. And I said, honey, listen, do you think this is like, I want to, you know, like Paul Simonon and Guns of Brixton, like that good, what do you think? And I played it, she went, no. I don't think that people will ever really care about that one.
And that's your single.
Yeah.
And they're no longer together.
Is it that song that drove you apart?
It could have been one of the nails in the coffin.
Speaking of famous bass lines, you were recently voted number 2 best bassist of all time by Rolling Stone, only topped by John Entwistle. Are you okay with that?
You know, that's some craziness that no matter how I comment on it, I'm an egotistical bastard.
Oh, come on.
So-
Flea is the second greatest bass player of all time.
Yeah.
I think whatever
Yeah.
Rolling Stone says is
Yeah,
right.
they're very smart.
Yeah, you know,
They know what they're
that's
talking
crazy.
about.
That's crazy talk. If you're talking about like rock bass players, I put Paul McCartney at number 1, you know.
Paul
Bootsy.
McCartney is actually number 3.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You guys-
You're better than Paul
that
McCartney.
guy's
Just say it
terrible.
to the cameras.
That
I'm better than
guy's-
Paul McCartney.
That guy's terrible.
Okay, let's face it, I'm
What
better than Paul McCartney.
What has he ever done?
Did you, Chad, have you ever been voted second best at anything?
No.
No?
Always number 1.
Not at all.
I did
Always
do
number 1.
I did in my junior high school. I was number 1 at push-ups. No, chin-ups.
Chin-ups.
Well, because I weighed like 3 pounds. It's like, wink, 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 wink.
Right.
Yeah.
When you guys were on your break, did you guys stay in touch? Did you guys, when you get back from
No,
work,
God, no,
you kind of
no,
like,
no.
everyone goes back to their families? Do you guys like
Actually,
have barbecues
one
together?
night, I was playing with Ornette Coleman in London, and Chad showed up.
I flew all the way over.
He was playing with Chickenfoot.
Okay.
And I was realizing at that moment we were really exploring different ends of the musical spectrum.
Pretty
I was
much.
playing with Ornette Coleman and he was playing with the Chickenfoot.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, we had it covered.
I came and I saw him.
And it's not actually a bad, you know, metaphor for me and Chad in terms of
Yes.
where we come together. You know?
And Chad, you did a supergroup with Sammy Hagar, Joe Satriani, and Michael Anthony called Chickenfoot. Mm-hmm. Do you feel that when you play with other artists that you bring that knowledge back to the Chili Peppers? Something that maybe you hadn't thought of before?
Everything you do goes into the music that you make, you know, wherever and whenever that is. So Yeah, I mean, I got to play with Dick Van Dyke. I watched Dick Van Dyke like dance in front of me, you know.
You played with Dick Van Dyke?
I did. I did a
From
show.
Mary
Van
Poppins?
Dyke, dude.
The Dick Van Dyke?
The Dick Van Dyke.
Shebang bang.
Wow.
DVD.
That's crazy.
I'm watching him like tap dance at 84 years old, you know. I'm playing the drums, and it's like, it's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Speaking of actors, how often do you get mistaken for Will Ferrell on a daily basis?
I don't know who that is.
I loved your work in Old School. It was
Thank you.
really good.
Yeah, I was great.
When you guys took a break for a couple years, Flea, you enrolled in music school at USC, is that right?
Yeah, man.
How was that? Why did you choose to, after becoming a hugely successful musician and #2 bass player of all time, why would you go to college? Is it just to show other people up?
Not a loaded question.
I only went to school so I could show people up. And
Yeah.
I could like be in interviews,
Have
like
his
cocktail parties and stuff.
ego
So what have
stroking.
you been doing, Tommy Lee? Well, I've been at USC. No, it was great. I loved it. I just like, for me, I always have kind of gone as a music writer and player just on emotion and intuition, you know, more than anything. So I really wanted to wrap my head more clearly around chords and how they move and stuff. And so I went and studied theory at USC and got into playing the piano, and it really opened up for me.
Right.
Yeah, so it was cool.
Did you ever sit in class and the instructor would be talking and just go, bullshit, bullshit, that's not how it works.
I call bullshit.
No, but I remember like I was like late to class, and I had my heavy backpack full of books, and I was like running across the campus like, I'm late, I'm sweating it, you know, I'm late, I'm gonna miss the introductory speech and the homework, I gotta get my homework in. I'm like running, and I'm like, dude, you're 46, you're wealthy, you know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? And that just flashed by for a second, and I was like, I'm late, I had to get in there.
And when you showed up late, did the instructor say, Mr. Flea, nice for you to join us?
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. But I loved it, man.
What did
I
he
loved
call
it.
it? What were you?
He called me Flea.
There you go.
And do you apply that to your music that you make for Red Hot Chili Peppers?
Oh, yeah. Well, the big difference was when I started studying theory to do my homework, we were like analyzing Bach. And I'd have to sit at the piano to kind of math out the chords because we're like analyzing, explaining how the chords move and stuff. So it made me start playing the piano, and I started writing on the piano, which was a new thing for me. So I wrote a bunch of stuff for the new record on the piano, and that's new.
That's great. And you worked with Rick Rubin as your producer on this album, which you guys worked with him for a long time. In the history of working with Rick, have you ever touched his beard?
Many times have I brushed up
Many
against
times.
his beard.
What?
It's hard to miss it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, his beard comes in before the room and after.
You know, like, he is such a subject of urban myth, and, you know, he comes in the studio and he listens real closely, and then he'll tell you like one or two things, and then he'll walk backwards out of the room and disappear into the night.
It's not like that with us.
It's not like that with
It's
you
like
guys?
he comes and lays down on the couch and starts texting on his BlackBerry, puts his feet up, he's like, yeah, sounds cool, guys, yeah.
You know what? I think the transition between the verse and chorus could be better, but yeah, keep going.
Yeah, do I get 3% on this record? No.
When's lunch?
No, Rick, you know, we have a great relationship. We've been working with him for a long time, and we have a really beautiful relationship with him.
All right, final question. What new music are you guys excited about? What are you listening to? What do you think that other people should know?
The only thing that I've been wanting to hear lately, and this is not exceptionally new, but it's new for me, is Jay Dilla.
Oh, Jay Dilla.
I just want to hear Jay Dilla all day long.
Yeah?
It's like amazing the way that he puts together, you know, bass lines and melodies and samples and synth playing and I really love the way he puts together the music in this really cool counterpoint and melodies and things happening, and it's just this hypnotic, deep, bottomless pit of groove hip-hop awesomeness. Just messes me up.
Awesome. Thanks for the
Yeah.
suggestion.
Oh, I've been listening to, there's a band from New York called Outer National that Tom Morello is producing, and the music kind of goes like this.
That sounds very cool. I don't even know where to go with that. Awesome. Thanks so much for your time. Have a good album.
you,
Have a
sir.
good tour.
And good luck with your
We'll
album.
see you.
Good luck.
We'll be at #2.